Hello everyone, this is me Abdullah Noman, and in this video I'm going to start talking about Android debugging. Now in my previous video I showed exactly how to use the logcat in order to debug your Android application. And in that video I said that logcat is not the preferred method of debugging your Android application. It is only used when you don't have much complication and you just want to find the line of code where it's not executing anymore or stuff that easy. And I also said that logcat is not a debugging code tool. It's actually used for many other reasons also. Now in this video we are going to learn the actual debugging, and we are going to learn using the Android debugger. Alright, and something called the Android debugger. Now if you have let me just start right now. So if you have notice that in the beginning I said that this is something which is used for debugging, and this is also something that is used for debugging. In one of my previous videos I said that, and I said that in the future we are going to learn about it, and that's now is the time when we are going to learn about it. Now if you want to run your Android application in debugging mode, that is in a mode when it is that is used to debug your Android application, then you should run your application using this button here or this button. Now I will be talking about this button later on within a few minutes, but right now let's just focus on this one. This is the main button that you want to use in order to run your Android application in debugging mode. Alright, and it's just it's normal as it's similar to this one. You just press one of these emulators and then it will run, and this is not the code, by the way. It's still running. See, waiting for debugger and this is the application that is now running in the debugging mode. Now when you do this, when you run your Android application in the debugging mode, this debug pane here, this one should automatically open. In my case it doesn't, for some whatever reason, I don't know, but it should open. And if it doesn't, then still you will see this icon here and you can just press on it and this debugger pane will be opened here in this case. Okay, this is the debugging pane, this one. Now in this area we do the work, and I will show you exactly how to do it. Now in order to debug your Android application, usually what happens is this: you usually have a idea or guess, a rough guess of exactly where there might be a problem, because you are a programmer and you know exactly the program might work. So if you the thing is that you want to examine, in order to find out exactly what the problem is, you want to examine the state of the application or of the program on a certain line. For example, you might want to know what's the state of the application at this specific line, all right, or at this specific line. Now in order to do that, in order to check the state at which this line is, for example in the, at this line, by the way, if you are confused about what is the state, for example in this line x is equal to 4, that's the state. Alright, 2 into 2 is equal to 4. In this state n1 has a certain value, because if we give a certain value in this in here, if we give a certain value, then that will be saved here. So n1 will have a certain value, and then the context of n1 will be something, and all of those things are called state. All right, now in order to debug your Android application, what you do is this: you just come to here and you pause or break the program at this point, and then you just analyze what's going on with this line of code, and usually that's how we find the problem. Now in order to stop the program at this certain line, what you have to do is this: you have to press it here like this, like this, like this. All right, when you do that, your Android application, while running, your Android application will start and will come to this point, and it will stop here at this debugging line. All right, wherever you set the breakpoint, this is called a breakpoint. Now let me just show you exactly what I'm talking about. For example, we give it 2 and 3, and then we press this button here, and we know that when we press this button, since we have been working with this this example here for a while, we already know that when we press this button here, it will run these lines of code. All right, so it will run this code, but what happens is this: it doesn't run the whole application or all the code. It actually comes here and it stops. All right, and then you can see that there are a lot of informations in these three sections here. Now I will be explaining them right now, what are they, but before that let me show you something. So what happens is this: your Android application, when in debugging mode, when you run it, it comes to these breakpoints and it stops at these breakpoints, right? And then you can use these panes here to analyze what's going on, what's going on with this with this. Oh, okay, my fluency is super bad today. I haven't been speaking in English for a while now. Don't worry about that. All right, okay, so in these panes, all right, so that's what is going on at the moment. Now I will be showing you exactly what these are, but right now let me show you something else. If you resume your program here, it will keep on running until it finds another breakpoint. All right, and then if you resume it, and after that line, after the breakpoint that you have set, if there is no breakpoint, no other breakpoint, then it will just execute all of the lines inside the code.